Well, almost halftime. Tulsa up on Old Dominion, 14-10. A couple of minutes to go in the second quarter. That one in the oh yeah, I forgot about that bowl. Tulsa and Old Dominion. Uh, Bo Nix is transferring. Now that's a little strange to me to start with. That he's transferring. He's been the starter at Auburn for 3 complete seasons. Outside of a little bit this year when they put TJ Finley in, who's not any good. The only thing I can figure here is it's got something to do with the new coaching staff. For whatever reason, he doesn't like the offense they're running or whatever. I don't know. But he says he's quitting. But don't worry. Don't worry. He still gets to lose to Georgia again. That's right. He still gets to lose another game to Georgia. He's transferring to Oregon. Man, you can't get much further away from Auburn, South Carolina. Than Eugene, Oregon, or wherever the hell Oregon is located up there. But and of course Oregon plays Georgia week 1 of the 2022 season. So if everything goes right and everything goes well for Bo Nix and he wins the starting job there at Oregon, he could improve to 0-4 against the Dogs. That's right, he's 0-3 right now. And really 3 of the worst games of his career all been against Georgia. Auburn has only scored a total of 30 points over that 3-year stretch where Bo Nix was the QB. They scored 14 points one year. That's the most he ever scored on Georgia. They scored 10 one year and 6 another. So 14, 10, 24 plus 6, that's 30. 30 points. So Bo Nix averaging 10 points per game against UGA. He's getting the hell out of Dodge. Tired of the SEC, I guess. I don't know. Bo Nix isn't a terrible quarterback. He kind of reminds me of Brett Favre a little bit. He's a gunslinger, runs around, and every once in a while, he'll make a great play. The problem is there's not enough great plays with Bo Nix and too many interceptions. Now, Brett Favre had the interceptions too, but he obviously had more talent than Bo Nix and a lot more good plays than Bo Nix. But that's the style of quarterback, really, that Bo Nix is: run around like a chicken with his head cut off and hope that a wide receiver can make a spectacular catch somewhere down the field. Bo Nix peaked really in his first ever game as quarterback against, oddly enough, Oregon. Who remembers that? Bo Nix's first start was against Oregon 3 years ago. God, is that right? I guess that is right. And Bo Nix led Auburn on a game-winning drive, a drive where Bo Nix received a ton of credit for a touchdown pass he threw late in the game. I said at the time, and it ended up being true, that was actually the worst thing that could have happened to Auburn, was to have Bo Nix complete that pass, because it was a terrible decision to throw the ball. It was a terrible throw. He threw it into double coverage. Receiver just made an amazing catch on the 1-yard line. And the worst part of it was there was no need to make the throw. Auburn was already in field goal range, and a field goal would have won the game. Or tied it. I can't remember which. But he received a ton of praise for that. And ever since that, his first game at Auburn, he has had that mentality ever since then, that he can just run around and make something happen. And unfortunately for Auburn and Bo Nix, too many times it ended in disaster. But so he's tired of Auburn, but not tired of losing to Georgia. So transfers to Oregon, where, like I said, he'll get a chance to improve to 0-4 against the Dogs. And he'll probably be the starting QB at Oregon, I would imagine. The guy there that they played this year, what was it, Anthony Brown or something like that? Was that his name? First of all, he was not very good, way too inconsistent. And he's been there 5 years. I know you get an extra year because of COVID. But when I looked him up, he's played in all 5 years. So, the normal rule is you get 5 years to play 4 years. With COVID, you get 6 years to play 5 years, I believe is what the COVID rules are. And he's played in 5 different seasons. Now, one of those seasons, he only appeared in 2 games, so that could be a redshirt season. So it's so hard to figure out with the COVID rules if someone has any eligibility left or not. But I think this was his last year. If I'm wrong, an Oregon fan, if there are any, can let me know. But anyway, Bo Nix to Oregon, amazing. Absolutely amazing. A little morning announcement here at the end. I talked to Pete about 30 minutes ago. We do the Lunch Money Show every Monday night at 10. It's Christmas week. Me and Pete both are running around like chickens with our heads cut off, like Bo Nix in a football game, trying to get things tidied up here in the last week before Christmas. So there is going to be no lunch money show tonight. I'm sorry. I know you're all extremely disappointed. But we talked about all the bowl games through this week, last week on the Lunch Money Show. Don't worry, the Lunch Money Show will be back the Monday after Christmas, where we'll talk about all the big bowl games, the New Year's Six, and of course, the 2 playoff games. But so no Lunch Money Show tonight for me and my buddy Pigskin Pete. All right, shout out to Blow Dicks. Have a good morning.